Remove the children from the screen because what I'm about to show is not for everyone. If you are looking for strategies without any losing trades at all, then unfortunately they do not exist. However, there is one shortcut. It's a combination of two indicators that have been working since 2020. This will recover any of your losses. In the video, I will share the exact settings and explain step by step how to open a trade with a very high probability of profit. A month ago, I provided this strategy on my channel. Check out the results that other people have achieved. Let's get started, and now pay close attention because at the beginning we need to prepare the chart and our platform for trading with the strategy. If you don't do this, there is a high chance you will just lose your money. The first thing we need to do is go to the section, make sure to enable candlestick chart type and set the time frame to S20. This is assuming you want to trade minute-long trades. The main rule here is that the time frame of your trade should be twice as long as the time frame of your candlestick. If your candlestick time frame is M5, it means your trade should be for 10 minutes. Keep this in mind. Next, we go to the indicator section and click twice on the moving average indicator. Now, we need to set up these two indicators correctly. We enter the first indicator, we set period to 11, and make sure to set the indicator type to EMA. We can leave the styles, unchanged, and press save. The setup for the second indicator looks as follows. Change the period to 56. Change the indicator type to EMA as well. If you don't do this, your strategy won't work. Instead, we make sure this line differs from the first line. So adjust everything according to your preference. So we've talked about setting up the indicators. Now let's discuss opening trades. I believe we currently have a good opportunity to open a trade for a downward movement. And let me tell you why and how you can replicate this. In 3 seconds, I would open a trade for downward movement for 1 minute. Look, we are primarily looking for an asset that has clearly defined trend. Here we had a downward trend and we see that both lines of our two indicators are declining, the red indicator and the green indicator. Next, there is a trend change. The indicators intersect at this point, indicating a trend change because the green indicator is rising while the red indicator is rising as well. Now we have another intersection, and at this intersection we have a trade for a downward movement. Considering that there is a room to fall, we see that below us there is a support level that essentially acts as a magnet for our price. The price will move toward this level. We opened quite well, yes, after a significant drop, but our indicators confirmed the change in our trend. So right now we are confidently opening a very good trade in favor of the trend that brings us $174 in pure profit. In today's video, I will also include signals from the wobble because it sends us simply amazing trades. And I might be able to open a couple of trades for 15 or 5 minutes and demonstrate the wobble signals as well. If you want to receive them for free, follow the link in the description. Just click to comment to enable signals, turn on signals for 2 hours and copy the trade. So now we have an opportunity to open a second trade for an upward movement. I will be entering the position now. Look, we have a slightly risky moment here, meaning we found a chart with a long downward trend. But just recently the chart attempted to break the trend and move upward, although it was unsuccessfully. And we hope that the previous situation will not affect the current trend change because we are essentially entering at the intersection. Above us is a horizontal level to which the price will aim, and the trade is open according to all the rules. Wow, it turned out to be a very confident movement. We are earning another $184 in profit. So guys, it seems we are receiving a signal from the wobble for 5 minutes for a downward movement. So we simply copy the asset name, quickly set the time to 5 minutes and select downward. The most important thing here is to react as quickly as possible to the signal to achieve a similar entry point as the wobble and consequently get results like this. Therefore, make sure to turn on notifications after activating the demo period. And let's just wait for the result. We have a 5-minute trade. Well, it's not super confident, but nevertheless, we are getting $170 in profit from the wallet. The signal is also marked positively, and it seems the signal came in even before we activated the wobble. Well, let's move on to our strategy. So let's open a position for an upward movement here as well with a slight delay, but I will explain why. First of all, we have a resistance level above us. I think that since it is very close now and the market will continue to strive towards it. If we analyze the situation globally, we can see that after this intersection, there was a downward movement. And now we have an upward movement after this intersection. Accordingly, we wouldn't have made a profit immediately, but somewhere around the second candle, we enter this upward movement, meaning we are trading according to the trend and looking for the maximum number of confirming factors. This trend change, on the indicators and the area that essentially acts as a magnet for our price. Based on these two factors, we open such a confident trade. So in 5 seconds, it closes. And I think that further from this area, we are already waiting for a correction. Of course, I won't open a trade since it doesn't align with our strategy today. But in general, a good position could have been opened here. So friends, let's open a trade for an upward movement here. The situation is almost similar to what we traded earlier. I see an area that could act as resistance for our chart and a magnet for the price movement. As we can see, our indicators have almost crossed. There hasn't been a crossover yet, but I'm opening this trade at my own risk since the most important thing is that we have already consolidated above this main red line. We are above it, waiting for a crossover with this indicator. Above us is the resistance area. So overall, the trade meets our conditions. Everything is great. We are taking $176. The chart follows our scenario clearly, and now we have a crossover forming. However, in this case, I wouldn't open a trade for an upward movement. At this crossover, since we are currently in the resistance area. So there are certain risks. Yes, if nothing were in our way. But if the area were, say, over here, I would have opened a trade for an upward movement. But since we are already at the resistance zone, it's essential to wait for its breakout. Well, guys, this turned out to be a short video. Today, I managed to earn almost $1,000. 6 trades closed in profit today. Thus, it turns out that the video is not clickbait. We really achieved a 100% win rate today. I sincerely wish you to replicate this strategy in practice and understand how the market works. I'm sure you will succeed if you follow the advice from this video. Join my Telegram channel to receive additional training on binary options. Thank you all for watching this video. Goodbye.